Hello, I'm Toycat, and what do Lecterns and Panda bears have in common? You might think that there's actually very little that ties these two things together, but because this is of course a Minecraft video, the biggest thing they have in common is that they're both features mentioned a long time ago as coming to Minecraft in the future, broadly speaking, that both actually did come to Minecraft in the long future, years after they were initially mentioned. The reason I bring them up to date is because the Nether is getting an update. We all know about 1.16, the Nether update. It's very exciting, and one of the things that seems the most logical to add to that is not just the Nether biomes, not just the piglins, but perhaps instead could be a brand new mob that has already been designed by Minecraft. And as a little bit of a tangent to that, I think we've kind of proved that there's a cave update, but today we're going to try and stay focused on why Minecraft should bring back a previously scrapped mob, Mob D. This guy right here that we've seen a lot of different drawings of, that we've seen a lot of the design of. I think the idea of it being scrapped forever is kind of ridiculous, especially with a Nether update on the horizon, and let me talk about why in today's video. So hopefully you do all enjoy this one, but let's dive straight into it, because if you don't know, Minecraft does a democracy thing every single year for the last few years at Minecon Live. It's one of the ways they can make people watch the show, because it's like, ooh, what's going to happen with the democracy? In the same way I'm watching the Canadian election, not because I particularly care about who's going to be in charge at the end, but because I love the idea of, like, you know, horse racing and, you know, like having a team to win. It's like watching a sport, but with democracy involved instead. So the organizers of the event know that people like that, and that's why we've had a buy-in vote for the last 2 years, and before that we had something way bigger, which was a mob vote. There were 4 separate mobs, mob A, B, C, and D, one of which would be added to Minecraft upon our suggestion. And as a way to kind of make it even more intense, they said something like, oh, the 3 mobs that don't win the vote will be scrapped forever. And this is something they later kind of undid for future votes, because they realized, like, what's the point in designing a mob or designing a brand new set of features to come with a biome and then just throw away the ones that people don't vote on? I mean, just because a feature's not popular, it doesn't mean it's not good for Minecraft. And yeah, even though they've undone it for future votes, they haven't undone it for Minecon Earth 2017 yet, which means that Mob C, Mob D, and Mob A all are scrapped from Minecraft and are currently, you know, as best we know, not coming back to the game, which is a real problem because, again, we just heard at Minecon Live 2019 that there is in fact going to be a big Nether update, and it seems to me that, logically speaking, if you're going to have these brand new Nether biomes, all of which need to feel unique, one of the best and coolest ideas to add to that would be something to make the blazes feel unique as a species. In the same way that piglins have, you know, the piglin beast, there's the piglins, and there's the zombified piglins, in the same way that you've got wither skeletons, which are part of the skeleton family, doesn't it make sense that blazes, which are one of the, you know, like, most important mobs to a Minecraft run, wouldn't it make sense that these blazes should have their own little family as well? They should have the initial blazes, which, let's be honest, aren't particularly hard to kill, especially if you know that you can use snowballs to hurt them. But rather than just having that, why don't we also have the Hovering Inferno, a type of blaze with shields for body parts? This is a real description of the mob, by the way, that can use those to defend itself from attacks. Why not have the mob which can spawn extra blazes which can attack the player as part of its thing? It's like a group kind of mob. Wouldn't it be really cool if there was like a miniature boss mob, a mini boss, on the way to the main boss that you can choose to fight, and it would make your life a lot easier, or you can choose to avoid it and just attack the blazes at the edge? I think having a super blaze, I think having the Hovering Inferno would be really great, because you could also add sort of separate rewards just for fighting it. What if defeating it gave you some form of better shield? What if defeating it gave you some way to make the shockwave attacks yourself using potions? I don't know what it would have to drop, but the idea of having a hard mob to fight in the Nether that is your choice to fight, but is kind of like a part of the game itself, it seems so logical. Mob D was such a great idea, and the idea of saying, well, we're definitely not going to add Mob D because we decided not to at Minecon Earth 2017, I think that would be a mistake, and apparently I'm not the only one. The reason I'm making today's video is because I didn't hear about this thing myself. I heard about it via the hashtag MobD for Nether update. It's again, it's admittedly not the most viral hashtag right now, but there still are dozens of tweets where people are asking, like, hey, what's the point in making it gone forever? This would be one of the best features for this update. This is almost better than the features they've announced so far. Why not take a feature that you know a lot of people liked? Again, it wasn't eliminated first. Thousands of people did vote for Mob D. It's just that more people voted for Mob D. And by the way, Mob B was a mistake. Why did we vote for the Phantom? Just side note. But, you know, like, when it comes down to democracy, why should a feature be removed just for being slightly less popular than another feature which already is in the game? And again, admittedly, you could say, well, Mob C is more popular than Mob D, because if you don't know, Mob A was first to go, then it was Mob D, then Mob C, and that's what made Mob B the winner. But, like, again, when I hear that, I say, what I hear, well, clearly thousands of people wanted this, more people wanted this than even more ocean content, something that was added regardless. Why don't we have something like Mob D? If you have to change the name to it, something different, do that. But I think the idea of removing something just because because you previously said you would is probably a kind of questionable idea, which is why I'm making today's video, because I figured, again, something I've been doing recently is kind of using the platform to do some more fun stuff, and one of the things that I think would be useful and fun for Minecraft is a more fun Nether update. How do we make the Nether update more fun? Well, I mean, there's lots of, user suggestions, there's lots of things like different biomes they could add that I'm sure we will be seeing in the upcoming future, but one of the coolest features that we know the community already likes, we know the community is very excited for, and that we know could be a seriously great addition to the Nether, based on the fact that thousands of people have already voted for it and, already came very close to voting for it as well. I think, why don't we take this mob, which, by the way, the first year's mob vote kind of was all kind of a silly thing anyway. It was only 2,000 votes that decided the very last thing. It was such a tiny margin, like only a few dozen voters switched it one way or the other. So if this was removed for arbitrary reasons, and if we know that a lot of people want it anyway, why can't we bring the Hovering Inferno into Minecraft? That is my point today, and obviously I can't do this myself. I'm just a YouTube person on the internet, but what I can do is encourage you, if you have a Twitter, to maybe tweet at Minecraft, maybe tweet at Jeb, maybe tweet at any of these people with hashtag MobD for Nether update, and just let them know what you think. Do you think that removing a mob because you said that you would remove them, even though it doesn't really make sense because it's a really cool idea that's in an update, do you think that's a thing that should be done? Then maybe you should, check some of the tweets on the MobD for Nether update hashtag, and maybe you could, kind of improve it in that way. This is something I am very passionate about, and yeah, hashtag MobD for Nether update. You better believe I'll be tweeting it as well, and I really hope that's the key point you take away from today's video. However, as a result of looking into this, I kind of did some more, research into the mob A, B, C, D thing, right? Because I do remember the monster of the night skies, which later became the Phantom. I remember the monster of the ocean depths, which was the worst idea, like Minecraft's ever had for a mob, I'll totally admit. But then, we've talking about the Hovering Inferno today, and it made me realize, like, wait a minute, all of these mobs kind of fit something in the game, right? Like, the monster of the ocean depths would have clearly fit the ocean update. Mob B, the Phantom, it's not a perfect fit, but I'd say it fits the, the village and pillage update quite well, because it's another reason not to stay up too late. It's another kind of thing you have to be fearful of and defensive of. There's all these new features, but also there's all these new attacks. I think, Mob B would have been a great fit for 1.14, personally speaking. I think it's a terrible fit for the ocean update. I think it's a much better fit for the village update. And then if we look at Mob D, that's a perfect fit for the Nether update. And you might say, so 3 of these mobs fit pretty well into the 3 big updates that have come in the last while. And, it seems like a coincidence. Like, well, yeah, if you take the Mob B coincidence in there, then surely it just looks like that. However, think about it this way. We know for a fact, Jeb said at the PC Gamer event last year, they plan Minecraft updates not just a month in advance, not just 6 months in advance. They have a couple of years of plans at any given time. They know what they're going to update in 2020 right now, maybe even 2021. And although we don't know how deep those plans are, we know roughly what they are, right? So this is why I think Mob C is so interesting, because Mob C was going to be called the Great Hunger. It was going to be a, lizard-like creature that could sink itself into the ground, that could consume other mobs or your items with its giant mouth. It was going to be, this big old monster, right? And it was going to be a threat for caves in Minecraft, if you do recall. So there was going to be a cave monster that was one of the possibilities at Minecon Earth 2017. It came down to being the second one that people didn't vote for, and sadly, as a result of that, we didn't get a little bit of a cave feature. However, think about it this way, right? We have we have 4 mobs that were all planned in 2017 for Minecon Live. We have one that perfectly fits 1.13. We have one that perfectly fits 1.14. We have one that perfectly fits the next update, which is 1.16, counterintuitively. And doesn't it therefore make sense that Mob C, the last of the 4 mobs, which hasn't really fit an update yet, wouldn't it make sense that would fit a cave update, which could perhaps be 1.17. I know I'm really stretching it. I know I can't make this the title of the video, because if I do, people will be like, Toycat, that is the most stretching I've ever seen. However, does it not make a little bit of sense? Do you not hear that and think, 4 separate mobs, Minecraft plans at least 4 updates ahead of time, and funnily enough, they bring out 4 mobs, which match pretty well with, at least 3 of them match pretty well upcoming updates. Wouldn't it make sense if Mob C, the mob which would spawn in caves and underground and places like that, wouldn't it make sense that that would fit really well with an underground update? Especially given that we know that the way Minecraft is updating things is they intend to update big areas of the game rather than just extending it like they've done before. That's why the aquatic update was so huge. They changed oceans and made them them so much better. That's why the Village and Pillage update was so huge. They changed villages and the village mechanics and made them actually usable. That's why the Nether update will be all huge, because they're changing the Nether mechanics, something which haven't been updated in years, and they're making them better. Every time they're taking a place that hasn't been updated in a while, and they're making it better and better and better. Wouldn't it make sense if 1.17, in the Jeb plan, in the very big plan that has been going since 2017, wouldn't it make sense that if there's a cave mob anyway, wouldn't it make sense if every single thing they're updating is a huge area of the game that needs the updates anyway? Wouldn't it make sense if there's something called cave air in the game code anyway? Wouldn't it make sense if in the latest snapshots we've even seen that they've worked out how to do 3D biomes? If we have all of these features combined, if we've worked out that they know how to do underground or, above ground or whatever type of ground biomes, wouldn't it make sense that maybe, just maybe, the next update is definitely going to be a cave update? Wouldn't it totally make sense if 1.17 is the cave update confirmed? I think the 13,000 now upvotes on bit.ly/cave update, by the way, go to bit.ly/cave update and vote for it right now. But wouldn't it make sense that those 13,000 votes, they're just building up the hype. They're waiting another year. They know what they're doing. And, even on the live stream, the Minecon live stream, they made some subtle references to a cave update. If you take all of that together and you combine it, then, I don't know, it sounds like, to me at least, that you get a cave update in the works. Have I gone crazy, or do you agree with my thesis here? I'd love for you to let me know. And I'd also love you to tweet #MobD for Nether update, because again, assuming you do think that MobD would be a great mob, because I think it's one of the big shames of Minecraft that some of the coolest, most community-hyped features were removed, not because they weren't great additions to Minecraft, but because they were less popular than other features which were eventually added to Minecraft. I think that's a shame. Maybe you agree, maybe you don't agree. It's 2019. You can disagree with me as much as you like. I should stop saying it's 2019. It'll date my videos. We're about to enter a new decade now. Do you ever think about that? You ever think about just how big of a deal that is? We're going to go into the 2020s and we're not going to have a cave update. Do you think about how sad that makes your boy Toycat? Well, clearly you need to actually also tweet #MobC for cave update, because we need something like that in the game, okay? It seems like a thing we need. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I am very excited for both 1.15, the kind of small B update coming later this year, and way more importantly for the Nether update. As soon as there are any Nether update snapshots, you better believe I'm covering it instantly on this channel, so make sure you subscribe with notifications turned on if you want to see news about that and whatnot on your homepage. But for now, thank you very much for watching, because I'll see you all next time. Goodbye. By the way, this video is sponsored by mcprohosting.com. Use the link in the description if you want to get some % off your next MC Pro Hosting plan. If you want to set up a server like the one you've seen in videos, you can do that. Also in the background right now, you're seeing a video from one of their server trailers. One of the things that MC Pro Hosting does pretty well is they have really cool trailers for their stuff. Very confusing trailers, but very fun trailers too. And make sure you check it out right now. Or else.
You're no match for my unlimited RAM.